Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Give and Go, the NBA show. I'm your host, Dante Williams, and co-hosting this show with me today is my brother, Jimmy Williams.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back. It was it's been a lot going on lately, but I don't know if everybody's seen what happened earlier, but basically Cam Reddish got traded from Atlanta to the Knicks for Kevin Knox and a 2022 first round pick. Atlanta will also be including Solomon Hill in the second round pick in that trade. So I'm gonna have my brother speak for a minute. So what so basically what you think of that trade? Like
Well, a lot of people who saw the trade initially, like I did, was like, "Hold on, wait. I didn't feel like they got a lot." But with these trades, you got to look like a little bit more into it. So clearly, they had a log jam at the small forward position. A lot of people don't know. And they had
mm,
three starters that they would start over Reddish. Even though as good as Reddish is, they still had Hunter. They had Kevin, and I think they got Bogdanovich also at that position. So
right,
so it was a log jam. He wasn't gonna get a lot of minutes that he deserved. So if you look at the trade a little bit more, they did get a first rounder for him, which is big because I mean he was a first rounder, and then they got Kevin Knox. Mind you, I was reading on something that they may not keep Kevin Knox. They may just trade him because he's also a small forward, power forward.
yeah,
So I mean, it wouldn't make no sense for them to keep Kevin Knox if they're not gonna play him. So they could unload on him to a team that needs a small forward. Kevin Knox also needed a fresh start somewhere, so hopefully
right,
he get on a team where he can collect some minutes. But I think looking at the trade for a second time, they got good value as far as them getting the first rounder. I think it's protected. I can't remember. So I mean, it's a good trade for Reddish and a good trade for the Hawks because now they still got three other small forwards that do about the same. They all will do the same thing. They pretty much 3 point and defensive wings. So it's just one of them trades that just had to happen. They got a first rounder for them, and that's just what it is. That's part of the league.
yeah. I would say this trade kind of makes sense. It's been rumors before that the Hawks basically want to trade Cam Reddish because they ain't really see where his potential was kind of going. But I think this season you could kind of see his potential. He's scoring more. And
Yeah.
then if you look for the Hawks perspective, I feel like they need to get better. Me personally, I think the Hawks need a second star behind Trey Young. I don't think John Collins is that. I think John Collins might be a good third option. But if you're talking
Mm.
about being the second best scorer on your team, I don't think that's going to help them. I think, and you just heard recently that John Collins thinking about getting traded. He's frustrated with the team. We
And
don't know how true that
he
is.
just got a contract too, a big contract.
Yeah, but they had a good postseason last year, but this year they really haven't been playing up to expectations. But they
I
they have a lot.
mean, to piggyback off that, I feel like John Collins' frustration come in where they're losing. The Hawks was just
Yeah,
like in the Eastern Conference
basically.
Finals last year. They come in this year and they've been losing, so everybody a little frustrated. So I mean, like I said, they tried to free up Cam Reddish to free up more space so everybody can get equal minutes. The Hawks still got a lot of work to do. It's been talked about them getting Ben Simmons um, and stuff like that. I don't know if they'll be able to pull that off. They do have a lot of trade value that they could get for Simmons if the Sixers are willing to give up Ben Simmons for those trade pieces. But also too, we gotta talk about the Knicks. I mean, what does this trade mean for the Knicks? And clearly they needed some more 3 point shooting.
Right.
They needed another small forward. Kevin Knox wasn't really that productive when he did play. So this get the Knicks another option, space on the floor, get them defense on the wing. So this does help out the Knicks. Does it lift them to like Eastern Conference Finals aspirations? We don't know with this Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
Right now, with the top of the East is the Bulls, the Bucks, the Nets, and you could probably throw the Heat in there when they're healthy. So I mean, the Knicks still got a lot of work to do. Let's see if they make more moves at the trade deadline.
Yeah, and then you have to think with RJ Barrett and Cam Reddish playing together in college that this had a kind of lot to do with it too. And you never know down the line this could attract free agents like Zion to the Knicks. You never know. Uh,
Yeah, Zion need to get healthy first so he can try to get traded anywhere. But
yeah, but for the Knicks, I think this was a good quality trade. I think Cam Reddish obviously will be in the rotation more with this trade, right? And he's I think he's a better wing player. But
mhm.
yeah, this basically happened today. We're gonna see some more trades.
Yeah, for sure. Especially
This week,
around it's All Star break coming up. You may see some trades the day of All Star game. And I think the trade line go a couple of days after, so they kind of get a players like a week break. So we'll see some more trades as it get closer to the All Star game and trade deadline.
yeah. So next question. So we know Kyrie and Clay both returned. Um, two elite players in the league. So I basically got their numbers up on the screen. Kyrie's been averaging around 18 a game since he was returned, and Clay been averaging around 16 points a game. So I'm gonna let you talk about Kyrie first, and I know we talked about it a couple of times how formidable the Nets are with their big three. So I want you to speak about Kyrie's return and what you think that would do for the Nets.
Well, from a fan aspect, I think we were all excited to see Kyrie return and just to see him on the floor. I mean, he brings a lot to the Nets offense, and
Right.
he just brings a lot to their team, being one of the leaders on the team.
Exactly.
He's the reason Kevin Durant and James Harden want to come to Brooklyn. So just having him on the floor, like he does a lot. Like he can go one on one with anybody. Um,
Yeah.
he opens up a lot of shots opportunities for his teammates because he's so good off the dribble. Um, he has underestimated playmaking, but the reason his playmaking is so good because he's so good on offense. So like when
Exactly.
he's not scoring, he could easily just dish it off to somebody. We all know James Harden takes over most of the point guard duties, but when it's time to get a bucket, James Harden could do that too. But Kyrie just adds like a whole nother level to the Nets, as you seen them blow out the Bulls last night.
Yeah.
The Bulls had it back to back. The Bulls
Yeah.
was also missing a lot of key wing players, so you can't really.
Caruso. Yeah.
Yeah, Alex
Missing.
Caruso, Jones got hurt in the beginning of the game. Green didn't play. We still missing Patrick Williams. So, but not take away from the Kyrie conversation. No, he's gonna bring a lot. He can only play road games at this point. It's talks that he could start playing home games. We'll see what they do with the whole vaccine thing mandation. But just having him on the floor just adds like a lot of value to the Nets, and you clearly see when all three of them get going. Like I've been saying before, they're hard to guard. The main question for the Nets is their defense and rebounding. I
Yeah.
think that's always the biggest question with the Nets. Any given night they get out rebounded. They had good play from Sharp last night, one of the rookies, and also Thomas, they wing player. So I mean, maybe at the trade deadline they'll try to add like some center, power forward depth. Blake Griffin don't give him too much off the bench.
Yeah. He kind of fell out of rotation,
Yeah,
with
but
them.
definitely having Kyrie back elevates the Nets in every aspect of the game. So
Yeah. And then I'm gonna have you talk about Klay Thompson for a minute because this is somebody who everybody's been waiting to see,
yeah,
return.
yeah,
There's a lot of emotion behind that. So I'm gonna
yeah,
let you talk about that for a minute.
yeah, for sure. Clay, it probably don't seem like well, it does seem like to some, especially Warriors fans. Clay been gone for two seasons.
Right.
Um, Clay had two of the biggest injuries that you can get playing the sport of basketball or any sport that most players don't come back from. So in the beginning of the game, you can tell Clay was excited to get back. Clay been excited to come back for a while. Um, what Klay Thompson adds is, defense at the wing position, also 3-point shooting. And you think of the Warriors, you think Steph, he got 3-point shot, but Klay as well. That's why they the Splash Bros. So it was just good to see Klay back on the floor. I think everybody around the league, around the world, missed Klay Thompson playing. Like he would, that's pretty much their dynasty. Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and Draymond. So when you missing any one of them, it's
Right.
kind of weird watching them play. But it's just a feel good story to see him come back and just be happy to be on the floor. When that first shot went in, I was like, okay, he back. He went off the dribble. His lift looked good. He was taking people off the dribble. He dunked on somebody. I was just happy to watch Klay and see him back on the floor. Honestly, I didn't care if he had no points. Just the fact that he was out on the floor and able to play was good. But what it add for the Warriors is another deadly 3-point shooter, arguably one of the top 10 shooters like to ever play the game, and it just opens up their offense more than what it's been. Like you
Right.
get now you got Steph, Clay, you got Jordan Poole, you got to worry about scoring. You also got these other guys who stepped in their roles. Andrew Wiggins has had a big role this season. Um, it's just crazy to think how much better they can play. Obviously, Clay is not going to play that many minutes, probably
For a
until
minute.
after the All Star break. He got to ease his way back into it. But as you can see in some of these highlights, just having him on the floor is just like teams are going to be like, okay, so now we can't just key in on Steph. Now we got to worry about Steph and Clay. You know what I'm saying? And fast break, 3-point shots, that's like one of their bread and butter. Like it's hard to guard them when they get in the open floor. When they run a half court offense, Clay and Steph are never stop. They never stop moving. So it's looking real scary for some of these teams, especially some of these teams in the West.
And another scary thing is to be out 2 years and to be in your first couple of games, you averaging 15.5 after tearing your ACL and you tearing your Achilles.
Yeah, that's
That
huge. Yeah,
that, that says a lot. I mean, I know he kind of been taking a lot of shots. They trying to get him in a rhythm, but the scary thing is what's going to happen when Clay actually does get in the rhythm.
right.
Like, and then people, I know they lost to the Memphis Grizzlies the other day, but I don't think people are understanding. Like,
Draymond didn't play. Draymond
yeah,
didn't play.
Draymond. When Draymond comes back, he's going to get Clay and Steph their shots. When he's out the game, out the rotation, nobody's going to get Steph and Clay those same shots.
And another thing to take away, they're a little bit in the same predicament the Nets are in as far as like the center position. They still missing Wiseman. I think their weakness is rebounding. Their defense has been pretty solid all season. But they're when you got a team that got like Rudy Gobert or Joel Embiid, they kind of destroy you on the board. So when it comes to playoffs, it's gonna be can they rebound? Like I said, they in the same predicament as the Nets, and it's all a testament to playing small ball. That's what most of these teams play now,
Yeah.
small
So
ball. So
Golden State has the best defense rated in the league right now. So I'm not really worried
yeah,
about their defense or they rebounding. We know the
mm,
Warriors can go out and get some players.
yeah.
Wiseman will make a difference. I don't think a lot of people speak on that. He will make a big difference.
Yeah, because he'll only be in his second year, so I mean, people don't
Yeah,
really expect much from him. But if Wiseman can come back and just get him 10 points, 10 rebounds a game, that's huge for the
yeah.
Warriors.
And you seen a lot of times last year with Draymond would throw that little lob in the paint to him. So the Warriors would be able to score in so many ways. Like when they're fully healthy, it would be scary
Yeah,
to see.
yeah.
Um,
But it's like I said, it's just glad to have. It's just good to have Kyrie and Clay. Just see them both on the floor, just to
so,
play, is huge. Also looking forward to seeing Murray on the Nuggets come back. I would
yeah.
like to see how good the Nuggets can be, and see how he can come back from his injury as well.
Okay, for sure. Um, so I'm gonna bring this topic up. I've been seeing this a lot lately. Um, I don't know where this conversation started. You can kind of see the similarities in their game, but I'm gonna ask you this:
Okay.
is John Morant better than Derrick Rose at this age? And I'm gonna let you speak on that for a minute because I think this is very interesting. We know the athleticism is there, but D Rose wasn't no joke either. But John Morant ain't no joke. John Morant probably one of the most, if not probably one of the most exciting players to see right now.
You just threw me in the fire. Like this.
Yeah, I
This
had
is.
to.
I wasn't. You ain't tell me about this topic before we got on here.
Hey, look, we here. We here.
All right. So let's rate the two players, shall we? Let's go into every aspect because I know people are gonna have be any feelings about it. So let's just get into it. So let's start with shooting, right? Derrick Rose and John Morant probably came in about the same as far as shooting go. They really weren't good 3-point shooters when they came in the league. Um, as far as athleticism, how tall is Ja? Ja like what 6'5", 6'5", I think.
Who?
Uh,
John Morant?
yeah, and
Nah,
D.
John Morant probably like John Morant like 6'2", 6'3", maybe.
No, we nah. See now I gotta look that up because I feel like he taller than that.
He definitely not. I don't think he definitely not
You
six
want to
five.
bet money on it? You want how much money you want to put on
Man, we could bet 20. He not 6'5".
it? Okay. All right. Give me a second. Give me a
Send me
second.
my 20 after two. Send me my 20. What it say? What it say?
Wait. How tall? How tall you think he is?
John Morant.
Yeah.
He either 6'3" or 6'4".
Which one? You gotta go with one.
6'3".
Damn. I seen your money after.
Like he about the
Um.
same height as Derrick Rose. Like
So
yeah,
so that's my bad. They both 6'3". So they both got the same height.
you sending me my money, right?
Yes, after the show over.
Okay, no,
Leave me
I'm just
alone. Leave
clarifying.
me alone.
I'm
Whatever.
just clarifying.
Anyway, athleticism, man, it's so freakishly close. Like I would have to give an edge. Like Ja looked like he get a little bit higher than D Rose, but D
Yeah,
Rose got up though. Like that's
like
close.
his timing in the
Now,
air was
if we
different.
talking about 2K dunk package, I think Ja got it with the dunk package. Like
Yeah,
Ja be man, he watching these highlights, man. It's what's gonna end this conversation for me was one of them was the youngest MVP of the league,
yeah. I
and
mean,
one of them wasn't.
because right now, you can definitely put him in MVP conversation, but I don't think you can put him over like Steph, KD,
Well, we not
or
even talk. Look, let's just stick straight to D Rose and Ja. Like I said, the athleticism is I get an edge to Ja. Ball handling, I'm gonna give it to D Rose. I feel like D Rose like
yeah,
was a little more crafty with his ball handling. Ja, he finishes a lot with his athleticism. D Rose did too, but D Rose was crafty around the basket as far as like layups. Ja, he just go up strong and just try to lay it up over you, kind of, if that makes sense. But like I said, I gotta
I
give it
think
to.
D Rose was a slightly better passer in a way.
I mean, you could say. I mean, Ja did improve his jump shot a little bit quicker
Yeah,
than D Rose, but I'm still gonna give it to D Rose, man. I'm biased. I don't, but I would like to hear people in the comments and everybody we know bring up this conversation just to see where everybody else. But I got to give it to D Rose just because he was the youngest MVP of the league. Like he led his team to the
to our
playoffs. He
first
made
seed over a Miami Heat team, who they eventually lost to, but he still led them to the best record in the league
yeah. That's
overall.
why I got to give it to D Rose. It's not taking anything away from Ja. You know what I'm saying? I
And
hope
this is
Ja.
not biased, by the way. This
Yeah.
isn't biased. This is
It's biased for me. I feel like because I'm a D Rose fan, Bulls fan, but
yeah,
hopefully, I just hope that Ja, like as far as injury wise, keep his injuries down. He work on his landing. He don't have no bad, serious injuries, and just keep doing what he doing, man. He one of the young guards in this league that's pretty much taking over, and every night he come out and hoop. I will give him
yes.
that. He hoop. I haven't really seen any off nights from Ja, to be honest with you. Like every game, Ja is coming out to dunk you and kill you. And That's the mentality you want to have in this league, and expect great things from Ja. Hopefully he get votes for the All-Star game. I don't know where the All-Star game
Oh yeah,
voting.
he like definitely making the All Star team.
Yeah, it's good to see him get his acknowledgement for like what he been doing in the league for the past 2 seasons.
Now let me ask you this right quick. So
Mhm.
a little bit after like that Warriors game,
Mhm.
uh, people like Stephen A. Smith and other people said Grizzlies are a threat in the West to Golden State, Phoenix, and the Lakers and other teams. What you think about that? Do you think they are a legit threat?
Yeah, I think they're a threat for sure. The Grizzlies is one of them teams where you can't sit there and like think that you just gonna beat them. Like they
Yeah,
gonna come out and play. If you fall asleep a little bit, Ja not gonna care about none of that. He coming to dunk you. And you know, the only thing I will say they are missing Brooks. I think he gonna be out for a minute.
yeah. And Steven Adams,
He
they missing him too.
Brooks is like what Draymond is to the Warriors. He's like the heart of their team. Well, Ja is the team, but Dylan Brooks is like that glue that keeps them together. As far as like defense, 3-point shooting, Brooks do it all. So hopefully they get a little bit more healthier. For them to go and win and get to like the Western Conference Finals, I would say they need like another guard, or I think they set at the center and power forward position. I think they just need more 3-point shooting. I think that's what may be holding them back from some of these teams that's like a tier over them. But
Hmm.
don't sleep, because they can still get you to a game 7, game 6. But as far as them like winning the whole thing, I think they just need a little bit more shooting.
Yeah, the thing I was just gonna say was I think they're a very good team, but as they are a threat, but the only thing that questions me about the Grizzlies is if one game Ja Morant on his A game is Jackson gonna step up? Is
Hmm.
anybody else gonna step up? That's my only question about the Grizzlies.
Yeah, I mean they may need a little bit more veteran depth, bench depth to kind of keep up with some of the better teams that I feel like are better than them.
Yeah,
But other than that, they right there. They right there.
for sure, for sure. Well, here go my next question. So I know the Bulls lost to the Nets yesterday by blowout. We know the Bulls are missing some key players. Uh,
Hmm.
they missing Caruso, Green,
Hmm.
and Derrick Jones is out 4 to 6 weeks with a bone bruise in his knee now, so
Yeah.
we'll be missing him. So I seen this rumor up a couple times. So if
You know
you
how I
look at
feel about rumors.
if you look at if you look at the Nets big three with Kyrie, Harden, and Durant, and then you base it off of the game yesterday, should the Bulls trade for somebody like Jerami Grant and yeah, like do you think they should trade for somebody like Jeremy Grant to help their chances, or do you think the Bulls are good where they at now? Like, I want you to talk about it a little bit.
I had seen a couple of things to these rumors.
Yeah,
I ain't seen trades for like Kobe White and things like that. I just don't know, man. I feel like the Bulls are a really good team this season. They playing really well. Watching that game with Brooklyn last night, even though we missing a couple of pieces, it just felt like we didn't have a spark last
right.
night. I don't
Yeah,
know if that's because it was a back to back or whatever. Usually, players like Alex Caruso would have came in and kind of gave a little spark off the bench. They are missing Patrick Williams. Um, he does. He's like a 3 and D guy. Um, I'm not sure. I don't know if they should give up a lot to get a player like Jeremy Grant, who we can get the same production out of like a Patrick Williams, unless they like really feel like they need to win now, which I feel like it shouldn't be a rush, because
right,
then I feel like they'll be making mistakes. Like I wouldn't give up some draft picks or a couple players to get him. If
right.
they can give up like one player and maybe a second rounder, and Detroit is willing to give him up like that, then fine. But if we got to give up like some of our like some key bench players and Kobe White and two other players and the draft pick, then I say don't do it.
Right.
I would just see how far we can go. If it's a player out there that they're willing to give up just one player for, like if they want to give up Kobe White to trade for Jerami Grant, then okay. They want to give up Kobe White and trade for another veteran player or whatever that's gonna help them off the bench, then fine. But don't go giving up like some bench role players to go out and get like one guy. I don't think that's gonna help the Bulls much. I just feel like they need they just missing that spark, and I feel like you get Patrick Williams and Caruso back, it adds a lot. But Patrick Williams is not gonna be back for a while. So hopefully Caruso come back. Hopefully Green. I really like Green on our team. Hopefully he come back and just kind of wait it out. If we get to the All-Star break and the Bulls get on a losing streak, then I mean, okay, we got to think about making a couple of adjustments. But we're not in the same predicament as the Lakers, where we need to go trade like half our team just to make the playoffs. Like the Bulls are in a good position right now. I think they should just ride out with the guys they got now. And if by the end of the season we not satisfied, like say we didn't get to the Eastern Conference Finals, or we lose in the first round, then I say then you can kind of blow it up a little bit and look at guys like Vukovic. Can we get better at the center position? Can we
Right.
get better on the bench? Trade Kobe White. DeRozan and Levine not going nowhere. They untouchable. Lonzo not going anywhere. So adding another playmaker and scorer off the bench in free agency or through the draft, I think would help the Bulls if we don't reach our goal, whatever that goal is.
Yeah, because like I said, I don't think people understand the importance of somebody like Caruso, who was
Yeah,
leading the league in steals, and how
yeah,
much is important it is to the Bulls.
yeah.
And the Bulls just had a bad game yesterday, I believe. I'm just saying this is what I seen.
Hmm.
They think Jeremy Grant would be a good addition to the Bulls, but
Yeah.
I feel like fully
I just
healthy.
don't feel like they shouldn't give up a lot to get him. I don't
Yeah,
feel like he'll add a lot as far as defense, which we do need, but does that put us over the top as far as like, win championship? It may or may not, but then if we give up a lot for him and then our bench come in and we just like don't have no production off the bench, the Bulls not gonna win anyway.
and
So
you
as
and you never know by the trading deadline, the Bulls might get another power forward or something we need off the bench to help. So
yeah,
anything can have change. Any change in the trade deadline, teams that's contended will try to get better. And I'm pretty
yeah, for
sure,
sure.
looking at the Bulls front office, they might make a move to see if they do need to make any changes. They might add some more size. So I mean, hey,
Hmm. And like I said, I'm not against getting Grant. I'm just against giving up a lot for Grant
yeah,
as far as depth go, because depth is important. We we seen that with Brooklyn face Milwaukee when Harden and Kyrie went down, and it was just KD. They didn't really have nobody come off the bench. Now, if Harden get hurt or Kyrie get hurt, you got Patty Mills, you got all these other guys willing to step in and kind of help with their production. So
for sure, for sure. So the Lakers lost yesterday to the Kings, I believe 125 to 116.
hmm
Um LeBron had another 30 piece, but let's talk about Westbrook. So Westbrook got clowned yesterday for I think he shot. Well, let me see what he shot right quick.
why
Westbrook shot
you why
2 of
you
14 and 0 of 5 from 3.
I was gonna say why you looking for that. I was gonna say LeBron playing out of his mind for his age, man. My
Yeah,
God.
yeah, yeah. This is
But
getting, but the last 3 games, Westbrook has averaged 7.6 points per game, and to make this even more enjoyable, I'm gonna pull something up.
oh, don't do it to him.
Nah, I'm gonna do it to him.
Hold on, man. I hope you're not about to do it. I think about it. Oh my God. Oh.
So, I want you to talk a little.
Oh my God, bro. Like oh shit. Oh.
I want you to talk about Westbrook performance last 3 games, and do you think do you think the trade rumors are going to start heating up now? Uh,
Who's gonna want? Who's gonna want? If they watching these highlights, nobody's gonna want to trade for him right now.
Oh my goodness.
You got me crying right now. I can't believe you did this. It's what? Bro. Oh my god.
Hey, I had to, man.
This is just so sad that they did this to this man.
I wish I could just play some music.
Whoever made this video is not right.
I wish I could just make like put some music behind this.
That would be like the icing on the cake.
Oh my goodness.
He just looks out of sync with like just. I don't know, man. I don't know what to say. Like I'm trying to be serious, and I keep seeing him airball, and it's like it's blowing me a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. Westbrook, they definitely trying to trade this man. It's not working. He looks out of sync with everything that they got going on. Frank Vogel is probably on the hot seat because he's not putting this man in positions not to do this type of shit. But at the end of the day, it's like, how can you control him airballing and turn the ball over? So
and it's like a lot of times when he shoots, he tries to aim for the backboard. Like it's kind of weird.
It just looked like he just looked up. Like these are shots we seen Westbrook taking hit. Like I'm not gonna sit here and say that Westbrook just is like horrible, but some of these shots look
some of these passes too.
Yeah, it's just he just looks out of sync. Like he's just not.
Like he's trying to force it almost.
He forcing it, or he's just not engaged. I don't know. Look, the whole Westbrook thing is not working.
Him and LeBron too much alike. I would say that they
I wouldn't even say that. It's just like
like in terms of they both need the ball in their hands to be effective. When they both
okay, so I will agree that Westbrook probably should be on a team where he's more ball dominant.
Yeah.
This experiment is not working. If the Lakers want to make a deep run in the playoffs, which they can with LeBron and a healthy Anthony Davis, they gonna have to make some changes. But I don't know, man.
Hey,
I just feel like who do they go? Who do they go and get? Like we can sit here and mention Buddy Hield and all these other players, but it's like, who are they gonna give up? That's my only thing. And
but the thing is, man, if you trade up for like somebody like Buddy Hield, like him and De'Aaron Fox on the same team, wouldn't even make sense. Like
that's another thing. And they not trading De'Aaron Fox for nobody.
Yeah.
So I just don't know what the Lakers should do at this point. It's like they kind of dug themselves in a hole with who they signed. Melo been playing really good off the bench for them. Trevor Ariza came back. Dwight Howard been out, so they missing size because Dwight Howard, Anthony Davis. I don't know if Jordan is getting a lot of minutes. They got to do something. They got to make some tweaks. If they make the right moves at trade deadline, they could still make the playoffs. Like
hey, these highlights just go off, man.
They could still make the playoffs. They just gotta figure out. If they don't trade Westbrook, they need to figure out how they can make it work better with them three. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I can.
I wouldn't be surprised if you see him in a different jersey by All-Star break because the fit and it's not even just Westbrook though. Like,
but it's like who do you? That's a conversation for
it's
another
gonna be
episode.
interesting. It's gonna be interesting because they don't even play Dwight no more. They don't even play DeAndre Jordan no more.
I thought Dwight was hurt. That's why he wasn't playing.
Nah, it was.
Oh, because they've been having LeBron play center, right? And they won like
ball.
Yeah, so they won like 8 out of 9 games or something with LeBron playing at center. I think they said.
Yeah, but
or 5 out of 6 games, something like that. But I mean,
LeBron shouldn't have to play center though. That's what
it's definitely a new role for him. I think LeBron is doing whatever for them to win games at this point.
Yeah,
which give him credit. Like the man playing center. Like I would have never thought I'd see LeBron playing the center position, but they trying to rack up some wins, but Westbrook not helping this case right now.
Yeah, I really think by trade deadline they gonna unload this roster. There's gonna be a lot of trades happening, kind of similar to when uh that year in Cleveland when they had Derrick Rose, Isaiah Thomas, and everybody,
And they
and they
just
just
blew it
traded
up.
everybody. Yeah,
Yeah,
they just blew. Yeah, I think it's
I
gonna
can
be the
see that.
same. It's gonna be the same situation. I feel like with this Lakers team, you
I
can
can.
see who you can get a good view of who gonna stay and who gonna get traded. Kind of looking at they play. So
And watching these highlights, looking like everybody but LeBron.
AD up there too because he's supposed to be taking the load off LeBron.
Yeah,
He's
but it's
supposed to
like
be.
AD could come back after injury and average like 25 and 10 a game, and they'd be like,
Yeah.
all right,
But
he
it's
still
not even
has
gonna
something.
matter if you can't stay healthy. Like none of that gonna matter.
Sometimes
Like
it's just the luck of the draw, man. I don't
these
know.
highlights going on forever for
All right,
whoever.
turn this off. This is I can't watch anymore.
Jay Watt.
What's the next topic, man? I can't do it.
All right, so reportedly, Rich Paul and Daryl Morey met up and talked to Ben Simmons. I mean, not talked to Ben Simmons, but they talked about Ben Simmons in Philly, I believe. And basically, nothing has changed. Daryl Morey basically said he still need an All Star in return for Ben Simmons, and it was a rumor the other day that Tobias Harris might be packaged with him in a trade. And I feel like that. Me
I feel like
personally, when I
Kuzma
seen
had
that,
the best response for that.
yeah, but I feel like for one, these are two players who are getting basically max contracts. So I don't know what team will, because you gonna have to give up a decent amount for them because they contracts are so we don't know. But the Ben Simmons trial continues. Tobias Harris being on the trademark kind of shocked me, but it didn't at the same time because he's not really playing as well. Like he's not really playing like they second option. Tyrese Maxey really been playing like they second option or Seth Curry. So
Like
you
I
talk to
said,
me about
look, like I said last time on one of our past episodes, I'm so done with talking about Ben Simmons. Like nothing's changed. Like what are we even talking about here? Like the only thing that's changed is they threw Tobias Harris' name in there just to get people talking. Like, okay, maybe if they willing to give it to Tobias, maybe we should give up like half our team. Like, dog, what are we talking about? Like Ben Simmons still on the Sixers. Like, I wouldn't even bring Simmons' name up unless they saying he getting traded. Like,
right.
like the trade is actually going through. Like with the whole Bobo trade, I mean that trade didn't even really go through.
We're gonna talk about that next. That's the next
Yeah,
topic.
but it's like I'm just waiting for him to go, man. Like it. My thing is if okay, let's say he do get traded, right?
Right.
He needs to come on the floor and hoop out of his mind. Like if Ben Simmons get traded and he come back and start playing weak as hell, we're never gonna stop talking about it. Like it's
Yeah.
I need to see Ben Simmons hoop. Like your name been tarnished for the past year since the playoffs, all free agency, all summer, even during this season. Like your name is getting tarnished. People saying you can't hoop. Like
They
you've been
say
a
you're a
three
bag
time
of
All
chips,
Star. Like
basically. They'll
yeah,
trade
it's
you for a
like
bag of chips.
I don't
Like,
care what happens. I just need to see Ben Simmons on the floor, and I need Ben Simmons to hoop. I need you
right.
to prove everybody wrong right now. Wherever you go, whether you stay on the Sixers or not, I don't care at this point. I just need to see Ben Simmons hoop. Like I want him to prove his doubters wrong. And right now, like we just talking about if he gonna get traded or not. Like it's getting annoying at this point. If the trade deadline get here and he doesn't get traded, I'm just gonna assume that Daryl Morey is just gonna hang on to him until his contract is over,
Yeah, pretty much.
or they're just gonna start fining him for not playing. I think I think Daryl Morey's pride is too big for him to just let Ben Simmons go for a couple of role players. Like I don't think Daryl Morey's gonna do it. So if Ben Simmons is not traded by this trade deadline, he's just gonna be on the Sixers just collecting the check.
Yeah, and I know we talked about a couple of times. I don't know if it was the last show or the show before that, but we said the Blazers might be a good fit for him. And I know it's been a couple of rumors about maybe Boston giving up Jalen Brown. Personally, I would have given Jalen
They
Brown to
already
him.
said they're not giving up Jalen Brown, I think.
Yeah, yeah,
So
they said they're not
that's
giving him up.
dead. And then the Blazers, Lillard just had surgery like yesterday. McCullough is hurt, so ain't nobody trying to trade for no injured player right now. Um, it's all bad. Um, the Hornets, they got a couple pieces if they will want to get a player like Ben Simmons. Because I know they trying to trade like PJ Washington. The Hornets been playing really good this season, really, really well. Like they really well coached. They move the ball. I think they one of them teams that needs to upgrade at the center position, needs some more 3-point shooting. But the thing is, even them getting Ben Simmons, like they already got LaMelo as the playmaker.
That's why
So
it's so hard trading for somebody like that. It is
yeah,
just
because Ben Simmons would have to be the point guard, or at least like Simmons got to be around a team with shooters.
yeah.
So it's only so many teams that he could fit on with his play style. His defense gonna be there. I mean, if you're trying to get him for defense and you got scorers on your team, then yeah, you can go ahead and do that. Now
So
let me just throw out just a crazy ass trade, right?
right.
Let's just say Sixers and Lakers just decide to blow it up and they just give up Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris for Anthony Davis and a Westbrook. Just one of them crazy trades that's just like, why not? Both the teams, like the Sixers is up there, but we don't feel like they're gonna win the championship. We don't feel like they're gonna come out of the Eastern Conference. So it's like if you Daryl Morey, okay, you may not want to keep Westbrook, but then you get Anthony Davis, and you still kind of like dominant in the paint. And Anthony Davis could space the floor because he's a spot up shooter.
Man, can you imagine Anthony Davis and Embiid?
This one's they have Twin Towers. That's just a crazy trade that I just came up with, but it could happen. You never know. But I
So
mean,
what you think? So what you think more on Tobias Harris side of things? What you think
I
about?
just feel like he's not living up to his contract. Like he's not consistent. Joel Embiid is averaging almost like 30 points, 10 rebounds, a couple blocks, and a couple assists a game.
Single handedly doing this every
and
night. The
it's
last
like
7, 10 games, he's been doing this.
Tobias, I need you to get 25 from what they're paying him. Tobias needs to average at least 25 points a game, and I don't think he's doing that. Um, so in the NBA, when you don't live up to your contract, you got to go. But the downside to that is he's making too much money for teams to just trade for him. They would have to
That's
give
why
up.
it's gonna be.
They would
That's
have
why
to
it's gonna
give
be
up
interesting.
players that equals the value of his contract. Which a lot of times, some of these people want people to get traded, but sometimes the money don't work out. And if you hit that luxury tax, you're gonna be
Hmm.
paying owners paying millions and millions of dollars to get out of luxury tax. So they're not gonna GMs and presidents not gonna trade a player that's making 80 mil for a player who's making 20 mil. The
Right.
numbers don't add up. So that's the only problem with trading Tobias and Ben Simmons at the same time. Separately, it could work, but if you a team and you get Tobias Harris, you don't look for him to be the guy. Look for him to be extra help.
Yeah.
So
Uh. Okay. So enough about that topic. We're gonna move to the last topic of the day. Um. So what you Bracy brought up not too long ago, the Bobo trade to the Pistons, but they said today that the trade got rescinded because Bobo didn't pass the physical for the Pistons.
uh,
Um,
I was so happy for Bobo.
it's crazy because like you can see the talent, but
I just want to know what, like, when they release this stuff, they don't never say what it was. Like, what part of the physical didn't he pass? Like, he couldn't sprint down the floor. Because, I mean, he's been playing with the Nuggets the whole time, right? So it's like he's been physically able to play, but now that he's getting traded, he doing another physical and he doesn't pass it. Like, what
yeah,
part of the
that it was
physical
weird. It was
did he
weird.
not pass? Like, I want to know because I was happy for him to go to Detroit. I was like, okay, he can get some minutes, he can start playing. Like, he bring the ball up the floor. He could shoot. He could rebound. So I just want to know what part of the physical he didn't pass. Maybe if they do it again, maybe the trade to go through. I don't know how that works.
Yeah,
But like I said, I just want to know what part of physical he didn't pass because I was happy that they traded him because he deserved a fresh start somewhere. Because
yeah.
he don't
Because
he don't get no playing time and he should.
I think he should though. Like you can see the talent. Like I don't know
Yeah,
if the Pistons. I mean, I don't know if Denver was trying to risk like not playing him. Like I don't. We know he had like an injury concern in college, but when he does get the minutes on the floor, you can see the talent at his size.
I think
And
they should release what part of the physical he didn't. He didn't because I'm just stuck on that. I'm just like, what if he's been able to play this long and then he do the physical and didn't pass it? Like, what didn't like? But how was he still playing with the other team? You know what I'm saying? So that's just one of the things for me that just kind of it's like weird. Or
yeah,
maybe he
but
failed the physical on purpose because he didn't want to go to Detroit. I don't know what.
I,
I don't know what the physical entails. Like, do you got to lift weights? You got to sprint?
man.
You got to take a breathalyzer test? I don't know what.
And that would have been good for the Pistons to get like a young player
Mhm.
and building. They building something in Detroit with Cade.
Yeah.
They look like they might get the number one pick again. Look like,
Hmm.
but eventually they trying to build some talent. Denver, I don't know what they doing.
I mean, looking at the standings, I mean, Denver is in six, right? And Jamal Murray's not back. Jokic is playing great at an MVP level. I think they put him in
Right.
the conversation. The Suns is at the top of the West. I feel like they're not getting talked about as much because I don't know. I think people get the Suns at like a cap where they hit like a certain peak and there's really no higher they can go. But I mean, they only got 9 losses, 31 wins. I already talked about the Hornets playing good. Um,
Mhm.
I feel like Dallas needs to do something. Dallas has like been up and down. Like I don't.
They haven't like I mentioned before. They they haven't got any better.
And then I think Utah they just reached their peak. I think Utah is missing. Utah is missing something. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know what it is. It's just something that you just feel like when you play Utah, it's just like we know they're good on defense, but what's their offensive like cap level? I don't know. Utah is. I feel like they need to make some type of move where it puts them over that cap. I just feel like they're at a ceiling and they need something. I don't know what you think about Utah.
Yeah, I mean, man, like I said, I don't know what Denver doing. I think they starting to look at more like Michael Porter hurt, Bobo kind of. I don't know.
But
Uh,
what about Utah though?
Utah, I think after watching the game, I think it was yesterday. I think they got blown out by Cleveland. I think it was Cleveland.
Cleveland is playing great.
Um,
Shout out to their coaching staff
if
and GM.
if I was the Jazz, I would I would look to see if you can get another star in Utah. I'm not taking anything away from Rudy Gobert, or maybe like a Mike Conley because they both was on the All Star team last year. But I think Donovan Mitchell need another legit threat on his team, like another scoring star. But I think at the same time too, I think they got some pieces they can give up to maybe get a star. You got
So
Ingles, Bogdanovich, like they got pieces they can give up.
so what do you think about the Sixers and Utah making like a trade?
The Sixers in Utah,
Yeah, like
I think
Utah getting like a Ben Simmons and a Tobias Harris for whoever the Jazz want to give up besides Donovan Mitchell.
okay. So I can see so how that would go down is if the Sixers were to package who Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris.
Hmm.
The only way I can see that happening is if Utah would give up Conley, maybe Bogdanovich, and Ingles, maybe those three, and like a pick, I think will all be worth that amount of money.
But would it put Utah over the top though?
I think. I think. It's
Because then
hard
you
to say.
got Ben Simmons and you got Rudy, and they both can't really score.
I think.
Defensive wise, you're gonna be
Defensively,
straight.
yeah, defensively, they'll be hard to beat. It'll take the ball out of Mitchell hands, I think, too. Even though Conley kind of do it, but Ben Simmons is more like ball. He even though Conley's a good defender for his size, but Ben Simmons is legit like 6'10". Tobias Harris, um, I'm not sure only because like Bogdanovich sometimes be putting up like 30.
I still don't think Daryl Morey would do it.
Yeah, they like he need, but I mean you never know those
Daryl
three in a
Morey.
pick.
Daryl Morey is looking for like a legit all-star back, like,
And
and
Utah,
none of
I
them
think,
guys
need
is
a legit
all-star.
all star back. And if you really look at the NBA landscape right now, it's like it's really no star out there that's like on the trading block. Really,
It's
it's
not
a bit, and it's kind of hard though. I think maybe you
because
look at the
I'm trying to pull up the all-star voting because I've seen it earlier.
maybe you look at the Lakers maybe with Westbrook to Utah. I think that'll take the ball down to Mitchell hands. Donovan Mitchell don't got to bring the ball up all the
I
time.
don't think they even want to try that experiment. Like looking at
Utah got yeah.
looking at the all-star voting, like, because let's see, the front runner in the West as far as forwards is LeBron. You got Jokic, Andrew Wiggins, Paul George, Anthony Davis, Draymond, Carmelo, Carl Anthony Towns, Rudy, and DeAndre Ayton. Then you got Steph, Ja, Luca, Clay, Devin Booker, Russell, Chris Paul, Donovan Mitchell, Damian Lillard, and Anthony Edwards. My whole thing is most of those guys aren't getting traded.
Yeah. There's a
Let's see.
lot of teams out there that need to
Westbrook
upgrade
should
as
be
well.
traded.
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards is getting traded. Karl Anthony Towns, I don't think he's getting traded. Mind you, the Pacers are looking to unload some players. Maybe we see Miles Turner or Sabonis on one of these teams. Maybe the Bulls try to get Sabonis on their team.
Yeah, I think the thing with that is
Or
it'll be interesting to
maybe
see.
the Sixers trade and get Sabonis. I don't know.
I
I'm just
was
throwing
out,
out.
and you know what's crazy? I was thinking about that earlier. I said Sabonis and Embiid in a backcourt, and you get Sabonis for Simmons is not really a bad trade because Sabonis one is an All Star
He
caliber player,
is, yeah.
and you can maybe get. I don't know. It depends. You might get a T.J. Warren with the trade if you trying to
Or
get Tobias Harris
or
or
Malcolm
Darius LeVert.
or Malcolm
Yeah.
Brogdon.
Or yeah. So I think personally, I think with if you're looking at two teams, I think the Pacers and Sixers will make the most sense. Because the Pacers, we don't even know what direction they headed in, honestly.
So
But
okay, so back to that trade. I feel like you Daryl Morey, you trade Ben Simmons, you get Sabonis, you give me Sabonis and
right.
Malcolm Brogdon and a first rounder. I think I would do that trade. I think I personally would do that trade
And that
because
will help the Sixers too. That will help the Sixers a lot.
you get a point guard, you get Sabonis who is an all-star who could score in the paint and he could shoot a mid-range.
Him and Embiid would destroy teams in the paint. Like
Yeah, I feel like that's a good match. And then Indiana, you get Ben Simmons, you get the all-star player that could play any position, and then you just build around Ben Simmons if you the Pacers, and maybe then you keep Miles Turner at the center position. You build your defense around Ben Simmons, Miles Turner, and do that.
yeah, then the Pacers will kind of have some type of identity. They'll be a
Yeah,
defensive minded team.
yeah, they would definitely have a like, because we all know defensively Ben Simmons is a better defensive player than Sabonis. So I feel like You got Ben Simmons, Miles Turner. They'll pretty much be doing the same thing the Cavaliers are doing, which is building around like Mobley and Allen. They dominating teams in the paint
for
on the
sure.
defensive side of the ball. So I feel like the Pacers should do that trade. Now, if Ben Simmons will want to stay in Indiana, I don't know.
And then you can have somebody like Karis LeVert, who's you can make him your primary scorer. And then you still got somebody like TJ Warren who hasn't come back yet. So
Yeah,
you gonna have some
I
scorers, mix
think
of
that's a
scorers and
trade.
defensive
I
players.
think that's Daryl Morey's best option
The
if he wants
Pacers
to get.
trading him.
Yeah, if give me Sabonis and Malcolm at least, and maybe a pick. Well, he probably gonna ask for a pick because he's
Yeah,
greedy.
yeah, for sure. They're gonna ask.
So a pick, Malcolm Brogdon, and Sabonis, I would take that trade. I feel like that's equal value for Ben Simmons. I feel
Sure.
like I said, you getting an all-star and you getting a guy who's a point guard who could shoot and play make at the point guard position.
For sure.
So you pretty much filling your holes right there. I mean, not gonna say the Sixers gonna win the championship, but for a team who got to guard them in the paint every night in a series,
Every single day.
they will rip.
Sabonis and Embiid, can you
They will
imagine?
rip Brooklyn apart in the paint.
Yeah. And then you got somebody like Brogdon who can hit shots, and he's like a actual point guard.
Yeah, and then you slide Tobias back to small forward position. You got some size. You know, you got Tobias, Sabonis, Joel. That's a big team.
I feel like if the Sixers were to make that trade, get a Sabonis and Embiid in that front court, it's gonna force a team like Brooklyn to get some more size. Like it's gonna force teams to have to get some size.
I do have a wild card trade though.
Name the wild card trade.
You ready?
Yeah.
You trade Ben Simmons for a Siakam.
Pascal Siakam.
Pascal and Embiid on the same team.
That's only. I feel like it's either one. If Toronto even want to give Siakam up, because I think last time I heard they don't even want to give him up.
Well, he's saying he wanted to get traded. Then he said he didn't want. Like he been back and forth.
I feel like equal value wise. I feel like they both equal, but I feel like that's a bonus trade. Might be like
that would be cold, right?
If you were to trade Ben Simmons for Sabonis, Brogdon, and like a first round pick, I feel like that's the perfect trade. I feel like that's the perfect option for this.
Look,
that might be the
you
perfect.
Heard it here first. You heard it here first. If the trade go down, if they do that, and it's exactly how I said it,
yeah, for sure.
I need an award or something.
Yeah, the Sixers' best option might be to get Sabonis from the Pacers, and you can even get Brogdon. If you even want to throw Tobias Harris in there, you might be able to get more back. You might be able to get TJ Warren.
I don't think they could trade. Well, they could trade them, but as far as the money,
it'll be too much money. It's unrealistic for them to trade both of them. The only way that would work is if they do a 3-team trade. That's the only way I can see that working out.
Throw a third team in. So
I feel like to trade Ben Simmons, you might need a 3-team trade. You might need another team. If you trying to trade Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris, you might need a 3-team trade. But you might need a 3-team trade just trading Ben Simmons because you might need to get some other players from other teams to go to Philly to make them happy. Because you never know if they get him back, if they're gonna be satisfied with that. So
I think Sixers fan would be happy with Sabonis and Malcolm Brogdon. I feel like
that'll be good.
They'll get two guys who kind of fit in the Sixers culture, who just hoop and play hard on both ends, and they should do it like that.
Shout out to Mr. Muhammad. Thank you for watching the show.
Yeah, are we live on YouTube or Facebook?
We live on YouTube, bro.
Okay, cool.
But so, you heard it here first.
Yeah. Before we go though, so who do you have like as top number one as far as MVP voting go? Because now it's up and down. I feel like Steph was the front runner, and now we getting Jokic, we getting Giannis, we getting DeRozan. So before we go, I want to hear what you think real quick before we get up out of here.
Okay, so I want to shout out Magic Johnson, but I know you're a Lakers fan. You play for the Lakers, but LeBron is not the MVP right now. Now, I'm not gonna take no credit from LeBron. He's 37 years old, putting up
He
38
is playing
games.
at a high level.
He putting
Yes.
up 38 games at 37 years old.
Yeah.
But MVP, it's like a three-way tie between Steph, KD, and Ja. I'm not gonna lie to you because
Wait, how did Ja get in here?
I think for one, Ja been taking down some good teams, but I feel like the only reason I
I ain't
say
even heard Ja in the conversation. That's why I'm just throwing out that.
he been in the conversation for a minute, but the only reason I'll probably get a slight edge to probably like Steph because they still got the best record in the league, and then if you're looking like at the Bulls, still the number one team in the East, so I think KD kind of slid back a little bit maybe.
So I feel like it's gonna be whoever had the best record out of everybody.
It's
Like,
Steph.
but besides anybody on the Suns, because right now the Suns have the best record, but we know nobody's on your team is in the running for MVP. Unless you would try to want to throw Chris Paul like top 10 as far as MVP voting, but
I mean, you can say like Steph had a couple recently. He ain't been playing that good, but I feel like, but I still like you got to get a slight edge to Steph.
Well, I saw that they had Jokic as the front runner right now.
Hell no, they ain't. No.
That's what I saw. That's why I was asking you. I didn't. Jokic kind of. I mean, probably because Jokic has no help.
I wouldn't even put Jokic. Honestly, I wouldn't even put Jokic in front of like Embiid because Embiid been playing out his mind lately.
Now Embiid, Embiid is one of the players I can see sneaking his way into winning it.
He was supposed to win it last year, but he just got hurt too much. Kind of fell back.
And if Embiid continues and they finish like top 3, I feel like Embiid could sneak in and win it. Now, if the Bulls finish with a record like better than most of the other good teams, like if they have like a consistent like lead,
you got to consider DeRozan.
You got to consider DeRozan because it's like the Bulls went from not making the play-in tournament to being number one in the East. Like Billy Donovan could win Coach of the Year this year. He could easily win Coach of the Year. So you got to keep DeRozan in conversation. You got to keep Kevin Durant in the conversation. It's gonna be a tight race. Like I wouldn't be mad if any of those 3 guys won. Throwing Giannis in there, I feel like the Bucks been up and down. So I don't see how you. But Giannis is a superstar in the league, and he do it on both ends. So it's hard not to keep him in the conversation. So this gonna be one of them. At first, like I said, Stephen Curry was clear cut, but now he's not clear cut anymore. So,
and we expected this because like last season, it was a lot of injuries going on around the league.
Yeah.
And you can see these players starting to return. And Jamal Murray gonna come back soon. We heard Kawhi Leonard back on track to return sometime.
Yeah.
So
it's all gonna be how this season end. Like
because it was kind of like last year. You didn't know who was gonna get it. It was too many injuries, but now it looked like everybody pretty much back almost for the most part. Yeah. So it's gonna get real interesting. But I'll probably have to get a slight edge to Steph, even though he ain't really been playing as good lately shooting wise.
Mm-hmm.
The first like 30 games of the season, he pretty much most of the season he didn't destroy everybody.
Yeah.
Without Clay or like anybody else, he pretty much been averaging 30. The whole season. Yeah. So I still
him and KD was like right here, like going back and forth.
Yeah, I think KD probably fell down a little bit. When they came out the first seed. So I still feel like you got to put like DeRozan maybe up there. Ja Morant maybe. I don't know. It's a lot of people.
Because you throw LeBron in there since how he been taking over, or is it because his team really ain't been winning? So
I think his team not winning kind of hurting him. He probably outside the top 5, in my opinion. If they start moving up and extending some more, I think he gonna make his case.
Oh, he definitely with the way Westbrook playing, he making that an easier case.
Yeah, I think Westbrook play. Yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much it for this show. I would like to thank everybody for coming out. This episode will be uploaded at we end this broadcast. Yeah, like I said, 2022 we grinding this year. Me and my brother, we gonna try to release as many episodes as possible. The NBA only gonna get more exciting as the season goes on.
Mhm.
We're not even near All-Star break yet, and we already know there's gonna be some trades going down, and we're gonna be here to talk about it. Um, like I said, a lot of these players come back, Clay back, Kyrie back. The season getting interesting. This is probably one of the most entertaining seasons I've seen in a while.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
these matchups in the playoffs, if the playoffs were to start today, I'll tell you these matchups right now would be
Oh yeah, because
man.
if you let me do it real quick, it would
Yeah, I'm
be
like, yeah.
so besides the play-in tournament. So let's just assume that it was back to regular format in the East. Um, the Bulls will be playing Toronto 1-8. Brooklyn will be playing Charlotte, which I feel like would be a decent series. Cleveland will be playing Miami, and the Bucks will be playing the Sixers. Even though the
That
Sixers,
would be a good series.
I know the Sixers would love to avoid the Bucks.
Yeah.
But that's without the play-in tournament. With the play-in tournament, you still got Washington and Boston trying to fight their way in. In the West, you would have Phoenix playing the Lakers at 8. Lakers at 8 right now. Golden State will play the Clippers. Memphis will play Denver, which I feel like would be a good series. And then the Jazz will play Dallas, which are two up and down
Yeah,
teams.
that'll be a interesting series.
Yeah,
Right.
with Minnesota and the Blazers in the hunt with the play-in tournament. I feel like I want to see Minnesota in the playoffs. Like I would love to see Karl Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards and D'Lo kind of see how well
They've
they
been
play in
playing
the
good
playoffs.
too. I
Well, in a playoff atmosphere, I would love to see how they react. So
I think they might a team like that, they might try to look to trade, maybe
maybe
get some more help over there. But
yeah. So
uh like I said, I would like to thank everybody for coming out today.
mhm.
Thank you for tuning in to Give and Go the NBA show. And we will see you guys the next episode.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.